The Black Whale, the colossal ship that's cruising through the sea on its way to the Dark Continent. More ships like it are said to be on the way to take people who are willing to the New World to claim its infinite resources and treasures. The ship is carrying 200,000 people divided by 5 levels. Level 1 is for the royal family, politicians and industry dignitaries. Level 2 for celebrities, wealthy people, and the zodiacs that were placed there by order of the V6 to assist the voyage, while the lower 3 levels are for general passengers. Amongst them are the 3 mafia families and the Phantom Troop. The paths dividing the levels are guarded by the royal army. And by the way, there is a succession war taking place on level 1 between 14 princes. Before starting the journey, all princes placed a drop of blood in a special urn conjured by the first king of Kakin that gave them an uncontrollable Nen beast to protect them. Only one of them will eventually get to live and become king. Based on the recommendations of Leorio, Kurapika was previously approached by Mizai Storm, who offered him to join the Zodiacs to replace Pariston's place as the Rat. Kurapika immediately said no, but upon hearing about the 4th prince possessing the last set of the Scarlet Eyes, he changed his mind and boarded the ship as a bodyguard to 14th Prince Woble, bringing with him some old friends to assist him if needed. When I become king, my first order of business is to divide people into 2 categories: useful trash and useless trash. 4th Prince Tserriednich Hui Guo Rou, son of King Nasabi from his first wife Unma, previous benefactor of the Haley family before the latter under the command of Mirena Produ went rogue and decided to go against the kingdom and all of humanity actually. Eccentric collector of the most horrible of stuff, including the eyes of the Kurta clan along with the full head of Pyro, Kurapika's childhood friend, and when he sees that, he's gonna lose it. Psychopath who enjoys taking people with a bright future and removing sad future, leaving them in an inanimate state. His name could have been possibly taken from Tserriednich. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly, that is the title of the heir in the Russian Empire. Maybe this is a hint from Togashi that he eventually will be crowned king at the end of the succession war, which would be a catastrophic outcome for Kurapika. For some reason he is in good terms with Prince Hulkenberg, and surprisingly he has 3 friends that really care about him. They appear in chapter 394. In the same chapter, we discover that Tserriednich unalived a fellow cadet in his youthful days due to a disagreement. Misogynistic, misanthropist, and altogether wicked. The exact nature of his relationship with Hulkenberg or his friends is still mysterious. I mean, I really can't see him as someone who cares or has emotional attachments to other people. After all, he is the one who considers everyone trash, some useful and others not. Tserriednich has an extremely rare talent for Nen, as he unconsciously conjured another Nen beast, except from the one that was given to him by the urn. When he did the water divination test, the water started boiling. Theta, one of his bodyguards who is teaching him Nen, thinks it's because his aura is sinister. His Nen beast looks like the Thin, but way creepier. It essentially watches out for people who lie to the prince and gives them a warning in the form of a burn in the face. And as it said, if you lie again to the prince, you will cease to be human. That's up to interpretation if it means unaliven or maybe something even worse. As for the second Nen beast, its power is still mysterious. Theta, knowing how evil Tserriednich is, decided not to tell him about Nen. That is until Kurapika informed everyone via the emergency channel about Nen in an effort of creating a stalemate on the ship, but unbeknownst to Kurapika, he just gave away valuable information to his biggest enemy. After that, Theta's plan changed to stalling Tserriednich as much as possible, until she finds the perfect chance to off him for the greater good of humanity. So she instructs him to assume Zetsu, which is disarming oneself from any Nen, making him an easy target. By entering a state of Zetsu, Tserriednich accidentally developed a fantastic Hatsu. He can stop time and foresee 10 seconds from the future. After that, time starts flowing back and the prince can choose which dimension to join. Well, something like that. And it was here that Theta decided to shoot the prince, but the latter used his newly acquired Hatsu to magically escape his fate. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. How the hell will Kurapika face that? Tserriednich will certainly not give up the eyes, unless his friends convince him, but again, he doesn't strike me like the sympathizing type. And to me, these friends look more like fans, and the admiration most likely goes only one way. Kurapika has genius level intellect, and maybe in a one-on-one battle he could take away the prince's ability using the steel chain. But then Tserriednich at that point might have multiple Hatsus, or perhaps he could simply spring out new abilities at will. And this is very possible because we have seen Cheetu do that even though the latter is not the smartest character. But when it comes to Tserriednich, he is probably the most talented character we have seen yet. Meruem had infinite raw energy, but Tserriednich is just a genius in Nen, which makes me wonder, why didn't he learn Nen by himself? Like Komugi for example. Oh, I think Togashi forgot about that. Kurapika's trump card is Chain Jail, but it can only be used exclusively on the spiders, so that's out of the question. All the while, Emperor Time is quickly sucking his life. 1 second spent using it will take away 1 hour of his lifespan. In chapter 368, Kurapika passes out due to exhaustion and wakes up after 9 hours. All the while Emperor Time was still activated, meaning 3.7 years were subtracted from his life. If we know something about Kurapika, it is that he will not back down. As Melody noted, your heart plays a melody of wrath, intense and deep fury. And Uvugin told him that he could sense extreme determination in his Nen, which makes me think the events that are to come will unfold in quite an unpleasant way. Even though Theta is trying to hinder Prince Tserriednich's growth, the latter is quickly climbing the ranks in Nen expertise and soon he will become unstoppable. The Phantom Troop decided to team up with the Char and the Shiyu families to end the Heilis. In exchange, the former will help the Phantom Troop look for Hisoka so as to avenge their friends. The succession war is heating up. 3 princes are already out of the image. Prince Hulkenberg has awakened, and there is no telling what Tserriednich will do once he masters Nen. Honestly, I won't be surprised if the climax of this arc takes away the life of many known characters, because it just seems like Togashi is preparing for the biggest mind-blowing explosive turn of events in the history of manga.